So I just wanted to kind of gauge how many people here are not on Twitter? Okay. And then like how many weirdos were not on Facebook? There's two in the back there. All right, it's okay. We're still all friends here, and they'll still support you, right? Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about kind of my background, how I got into social media, and how I keep getting offers for, I would say, for projects that I know that would pay really well, but I'm already doing a lot with what I'm doing, and I don't have time to do it. So I start doing a lot more training. I do social media training. And so I want to teach people how to do basically some of the stuff that I'm doing so that way they can go and offer it to other clients. And as the headline promises, make $100 to $500 a day. To give anyone who doesn't know me, my background is I have Web Friendly, which is where I do my social media training. And then I also help organize the Internet Masterminds group, which meets every Monday at 7 o'clock. Just outside Granville Island. It's between 2nd and Fur. It's between Fur and Pine on 2nd. If you go to internetmasterminds.ca, you'll see it. You guys can join up. I'm sure you will enjoy it. So I actually started out, I don't know if people know this, but I studied film. I went to film school, got into film, and people in film school said, if you really want to get into the film industry, you just got to go and work in the industry. Going to school won't get you anywhere. So I went and I started volunteering for independent films. And when I got in there, people in the industry told me like film school was a waste of time and that I had made the right choice and was great. However, I started noticing that a lot of people that worked in the film industry for 5 or 10 years, especially the 10-year mark, they hated their job and they hated their life. Like for me, it was new for me. I was excited. You know, I got to see Al Pacino and anybody know Sticky Fingers, the rapper? Any rap people? No? So, okay. I got one guy that knows who he is, all right? So anyways, I worked on Blade, the TV series, and I was really excited for hanging out with Sticky Fingers. And anyways, but yeah, everybody else hated it. So I knew I had to start something else and do something else, and I wasn't going to do this for the rest of my life. I was very future-focused and looking at what I would do in my future. So one of my friends, actually 2 of my friends, they went and took a course called How to Get Your Real Estate License in 5 Weeks. Anyone seen those Coroplast signs on the highways and so on? So 2 of my friends took the course, and then they both passed, so it was great. And then one of them, he was a real go-getter, and he was sitting in the class, and he said there was, I think, 20 people in his class that each paid $2,000, and the girl that was running it, I hope she's not here, because I'll get in trouble, but he was like, she was running 2 classes simultaneously, so he's like, geez, this girl's making like 40 grand a month, right, more than the average realtor, right? So he completes the class, and he calls me up, he goes, Matt, I'm starting a school, you're going to get your real estate license. So I say, okay, he needs students. So I go and I pay for my books, I go in his class, and it took me about 6 months, I became a realtor. And I was always a guy in his class with my head down on my book saying, oh, I don't want to be a realtor. And everyone would encourage me, be like, Matt, once you get your real estate license, all the girls are going to like you. So it got me very encouraged. I ended up becoming a realtor, or pretending to be a realtor, as I like to say. I made one sale. It was actually from my dad. I bought a place out in Cloverdale. and he made me give him half my commission. So it was actually a very bad year for me that year. So I went to my managing broker. I said, look, I'm going broke and I need to figure out what I'm going to do. And he goes, well, you're young. Why don't you go figure out this internet marketing stuff? And that's actually how I ended up to what I'm doing now. I went out, figured it out. I ended up working with an agency to make a website. I won't get into it. It was called Video Home Shop. It was like a real estate YouTube, total flop. I had no idea how to build a startup. But then I started working with the company, and they just asked me if I would just come work with them as a sales guy. Then they trained me, and the CEO of that company used to work for MSN and eBay and Merrill Lynch, and he was, highly educated. So he trained me into what I was doing, and then after a couple of years, I ended up starting Web Friendly, which is my company now, which I've now had for 2 years. And doing social media training. So the reason I got into social media was because the company I was working with didn't do any social media. When I left, I didn't want to be the jerk that started competing with them, so I chose a different avenue. So I didn't really follow the order of this formula that I had up here. But basically what happened was I got into social media, and my initial thing was, I'm going to tweet links to a website. People are going to go to that website, and they're going to buy. Doesn't work. I've actually been working on a little bit of research, like posting affiliate links on Twitter to see people will actually click it and buy. And I've had 216 clicks and 0 purchases so far. And they're for like $10 ebooks. So it does not work. And just like George just said, it's all about the people that you know and who they know. And it's all about finding your connections to those customers, right? So those are the kind of things that I started learning, is about meeting people, having mutually beneficial relationships with them, and seeing how we can help each other grow our business. And that was the major lesson that I learned about social media. So I actually formulated this into a method, and I created a program called the Social Science of B2B Connections. And I started teaching this class and teaching people how to use social media for B2B, for business to business, how to network with other people, just like we network here in an offline space, and how to do that in an online environment. Teaching other people to do it, they obviously started doing it as well. And that's one of my main workshops that I do, Connectonomics. You may have seen that Mark Zuckerberg just did his IPO, and he wrote a really inspiring letter to all the shareholders. And if you can, if you go to my fan page, I posted it there. It's on facebook.com/webfriendly. It's a great letter. But one of the things that he said was about how businesses just being more social and being designed by social were becoming more and more profitable. And although we're seeing it on a very small scale now, it's going to be growing a lot more. I mean, I'm sure anybody that could buy shares, I would hope if you could buy shares, you do know that Facebook will probably be will be valued at a lot more than what they initially came out at. So it's all about how do you design businesses to be social, and this is kind of how you can work with other companies, help them design their businesses in a more social way, which is going to help them generate more leads and help you generate more leads for your own company. And of course, that's not Mark Zuckerberg. There's Mark Zuckerberg. he's still taking over the world. All right. All right, so a couple of questions. So true or false, it's a waste of time to target customers on Twitter. Users are not buyers. False. All right. So this is true. All right. So just like I just mentioned, I actually already gave this away, all you people who are saying false. It's about you build those connections, and those people will refer business to you. If you try to sell directly to people on social media and so on, you come across as a spammer, unfortunately. All right. Next one. Social media was made for marketers. Okay. Social networks were all made for a profit. So it was made for marketers. It was made for people to advertise. That's why they ask you for all your data and your information. The social networks are the most data or the most profitable, right? And that's why you notice that Twitter collects very little data from you, and that's why we hear all the buzz about how they're just really not making that much money. Well, they're making a lot more money than us, but you know what I mean. Okay. More information was created last year than recorded in history. Okay, we all know that one is true. This is like a way longer presentation than I expected. So we have more competition than ever before. We're all going to agree it's true. All right, so Ricky knows I like to crack jokes about MLM, and I always say that MLM is against my religion. And then Ricky would be like, what religion? And I'd be like, I'm a Jedi. So I one time posted this on Facebook, and it actually got the right response. So I'm going to try it here now. So if I say opportunity, passive income, and financial freedom in the same sentence, what am I pitching? MLM. Yeah, okay, so it totally works. Okay, I love this NLP stuff. All right, so it's not an MLM. All right, it's actually a career as a social media director. Okay, so it's kind of, it could be like an MLM, I guess. So basically what I did is I put together a program. There's my sentence. I put that sentence together just for all of you. So what I did is I put together a certification program. So we're doing a social media director certificate. You can come through this program and you can learn how to manage social media for other companies, how to create campaigns for them, and so on. And I'll break down the math of why you could get paid or how you can get paid $100 to $300, $100 to $500 a day. All right, so here it is. If you charge on a monthly basis, you know how people buy like SEO packages, they'll pay maybe $500 or $1,000 a month. It's an ongoing thing for SEO. The same thing for social media. And I get people asking me all the time if I can manage their social media. And I put together a few packages. I tried doing it, but for me, I realized it was a full-time job. I have to hire someone to do it, and I'm just not good at managing people. But this is the math. If you just had 10 people at $300 a month, you could be making $3,000 a month. If you looked at more of the mid-sized businesses, they can afford the $1,000 a month. Maybe some businesses here pay that already. It is a very reasonable thing to charge as well. And if you had 10 people paying you that every month, that's $10,000 a month. And that's just for 10 clients. So you may be wondering who would pay you the money. So it's small to medium-sized businesses. The large businesses usually will hire someone, which of course you can get a job, but they'll probably want somebody full-time. And the other one is that there's a lot of government grants that are available and that are becoming available to go into companies and work with companies on new media strategies. So it's usually around social media, but it's also internet marketing related, digital media. Government's pumping in a lot of grants to help businesses come up to speed with technology and so on. Just some of the benefits of getting the certificate is just you come in through a program, and I start teaching some of the stuff that I do to acquire clients for my clients and so on. You get priority email support and so on. I won't even get into all this stuff. I'll give you a link you guys can go to and check it out to learn more about it, because I'm running short on time. So basically, if you are interested in learning it, I think I just skipped a slide there. But basically, it starts on Thursday nights. I do these workshops every month. They're always on Thursday nights from 5 to 9. And if you go to webfriendly.ca, you'll see a little badge with the certification program. You can click on it. You can read all about it. And if you have any questions, my email address is on that page. You can just email me. It's learn@webfriendly.ca to learn anything else you want from there. And as soon as you subscribe, you'll get a little link to go read an article to teach you some more tips about social media, etc.